So Tony Mokbel has just had two of his biggest drug convictions thrown out because of the Lawyer X scandal. He still has more court cases going on, but what does this mean for Tony Mokbel moving
All I
forward?
have in this world is my laws, my word, and I don't break them for good. What's my
Rightio legends, Chaos Chronicles, and we're back again with another video. And so today, we're talking about Tony Mokbel has just had two of his major drug convictions thrown out in court. He still has more court to go. And so this is all because of the Lawyer X scandal. So I don't know if you guys know, but Lawyer X was the police informant who was also a criminal barrister. And so she actually acted for Tony Mokbel and a number of other criminals. And so what she was actually doing was getting information off them criminals because she was their lawyer. And then she was then relaying, she was a paid police informant. So she was then relaying all that confidential information to her police handlers and was literally getting people arrested. And it is quite possibly that the Hodsons that got killed, so Terrence Hodson and his wife, was because of evidence that Nicola Gobbo gave to people that was supposed to be confidential, client and lawyer confidentiality. And so there were a lot of people that were released from prison because of this and were granted retrials. And so a lot of them have had their charges overturned because this is one of the biggest embarrassments to the Victorian police force. And yeah, so Tony Mokbel, as we all know, skipped bail back in 2006. He was caught in 2008. He was charged with drug trafficking, and yeah, he got a 30-year prison sentence for that. And yeah, he got a 30-year prison sentence for that. And then because of that 30-year prison sentence and because of what Nicola Gobbo had done, he was released from bail a couple of years ago now, or probably maybe only just 12 months ago, actually, maybe only just that. And yeah, so Nicola Gobbo, being a police informant, has turned around to bite the Victoria Police in the backside because most of them have been released.
Good afternoon. We'll bring you all those breaking stories from right across the country in just a moment. But first, underworld kingpin Tony Mokbel has been cleared of one of his three drug trafficking convictions, quashing a 13-year prison sentence. Live now to our reporter Paul Dowsley at Melbourne's Court of Appeal. Paul, good afternoon. Not everything went his way today, though.
Not quite, Tash. It's not how Tony Mokbel would have hoped that this morning panned out here at the Court of Appeal. He, of course, hoped that everything would be quashed, and he did, though, get some significant wins. The three justices were considering whether three separate drug trafficking convictions should stand or be quashed, and in short, two were quashed, one was not. The first was acquitted completely, the second was acquitted and will require a retrial, and for the third...
So if you remember, he was done for drug trafficking and took off to Greece in 2006 and was recaptured in 2008. So he has been locked up for a fair amount of time, and I would imagine that he will not see one more day's prison, even with the charges that are still standing. Like, they've already removed his ankle monitor, and he's still out there on bail. So I just can't see him doing any more prison time.
His appeal was dismissed. The 60-year-old had been waiting for these decisions since he was freed in April. He was bailed then after 18 years in jail, all because it was revealed that his lawyer at the time, Nicola Gobbo, was in fact a police informant working.
So if you guys don't know the Nicola Gobbo, so she was the informer for the Victorian police on the gangland murders. So she was also a criminal defense lawyer, and she was also a paid police informant. So people are using her, and she is using highly confidential information and relaying it off to the police. And as a matter of fact, some of that information actually got people's lives taken. And so, it's a big shame to the Victorian police. And yeah, I mean, they would definitely be licking their wounds today, because this is a big win for Tony Mokbel.
Against Mokbel for 5 years. This was the so-called Lawyer X scandal, and because he pleaded guilty at the time, he didn't know that his lawyer was lying to him. The notorious Melbourne drug lord had been jailed for 30.
So he did say, and this was his defense, that he would not have pled guilty under her advice had he known that she was giving information to the police, not only about him, but about a myriad of criminals. And a lot of them have had their prison sentences already quashed and are already out living their lives because of what she done. Like, this is a big embarrassment to the Victoria Police. I mean, and the law courts, everything.
Years. It was later reduced to 26. But today the Justice has agreed there were 2 cases which suffered a substantial miscarriage of justice. Is there relief, Tony, or is there frustration today?
How are you feeling? A mixed result?
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
How would you sum it up in a word, what you just heard in there? Mokbel remains on bail. He's back in court in November, facing a decision then.
Like, although he must be pissed off that he didn't get them all dropped, like, that would be a big weight off your shoulders right there.
About what sentence he will face for the charge that still stands. It was 20 years. They have to decide whether what he's already served in court will be enough. And at the moment, Tash is just around the corner enjoying lunch at a steak restaurant with some of his supporters.
Well, Dowsley, thank you for the update.
Well, yeah, there you go, guys. So, yeah, I can't imagine that they'll make Tony Mokbel do one more day's prison time over this. Like I said, it's a big embarrassment, and I guess that they would want this over as quick as they can. So what will happen now is he will go back to court, and he will have a trial for the outstanding charges. And obviously, a lot of the evidence that is still left in that charges would be tainted because of the Lawyer X stuff. And yeah, like, all the professionals are saying that he's definitely served enough time for the charges that he does have left. So 18 years time, and it's not like he was charged with taking anyone's life or anything like that. So, I personally think that he's done enough time, and I personally think that, that the judges will see that as well. And also, you've got to understand that this is, like I said, this is a major embarrassment, and they just want all this bullshit over and done with. Because, like I said, it wasn't just Tony Mokbel that got released from prison. It was so many other people. So you can actually Google it and find out the list of people. And so a lot of people didn't even get a retrial. They just had their conviction squashed and were released from prison. And so they all would be able to receive a financial gain from this. So they'd be able to get a payout for each day that they have spent in prison. And so I know, like, 10 years ago, it was like somewhere between $1,800 and $2,800 a day. And when you're talking about doing 18 years, that's a lot of money. And it's still not enough money to have that much time taken off your family, and you know, to have it all proven a lie or whatever in the end. Like, there's not an amount of dollars in the world that you can get that time back. Like, that's a massive chunk of your life that he's never ever going to be able to get back, you know. And so yeah, that's my opinion. I reckon Tony Mokbel will never see the inside of a prison cell again. And yeah, you know, the professionals are saying this as well. It's all over the internet today. So yeah, there you go. Tony Mokbel has 2 of his major drug convictions thrown out. And so, yeah, he's just got one more trial to go. And yeah, I believe he won't do one more day's prison. So there you go, guys. Tony Mokbel. And if you guys haven't already subscribed, if you jump down there and shoot me a subscription, that'd be absolutely appreciated. And somewhere around that subscription button, there is a bell icon. And if you smash that bell icon, you'll never miss any of my videos again. You'll get a notification on whatever device you watch me on. And yeah, I have been the Chaos Chronicles. You guys have been absolutely awesome. And as always, don't do drugs and crime and you won't end up in prison. And once again, a big thank you to all the subscribers. We just hit 37,000 subscribers, and I'm absolutely over the moon about that. And yeah, every bit of this is all because of you guys. And I absolutely could not be doing this without you guys. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for each and every one of the subscribers and everyone that tunes in and watches the Chaos Chronicles. Much love, much respect. Peace.